All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. It's Rashida Strober here, the world's first and only dark skinned activist. And I said good afternoon. I should say good morning because it's 10:30 in the morning. Um, for those of you that don't know, my name is Rashida Strober. I am the world's first and only dark skinned activist. I am the creator, the inventor, the designer, the architect of the very first platform in history to fight to end colorism. And the reason why I always open up saying that is because so many people on YouTube have plagiarized, ripped off, and stolen from my platform, and they never gave me credit. They never, so once it's dropped the donation, they've just simply taken from my platform. So that's why I have to let it be known every time I come on here that I am the world's first and only dark skin activist. Dark skin activist is actually my trademark name. Yes, I own the trademark to dark skin activists. And, I started dark skin activism from my heart and soul. It really came out of me growing up as a dark skinned, uh, nappy headed young lady. And when I say nappy headed, I say nappy headed in a good way. But dark skin activism really developed out of me trying to understand why I was being treated differently for having nappy hair and dark skin while growing up. And then the other part of where dark skin activism came from is trying to understand why black men, a lot of black males, didn't like me or would choose light skinned women over me or would say that a light skinned woman looks better than me because I was dark skinned. And so those are the origin story of dark skin activism. That's where it came from. And this was before there was YouTube and social media and Facebook and all these copycat females and males that are now just now talking about colorism or started talking about colorism after I did it. I created this platform before there was social media. And so um, the official birth date of dark skin activism, which is the first platform to fight to end colorism, is 1998 when I gave a speech slash lecture on darkism, or what some would call colorism. And this is when I was an undergraduate student at St. Petersburg College, gave this speech lecture, and that was the birth. And from there, I started to do darkism talks in the community where I would go to libraries, churches, and anywhere, schools, anywhere where people would have me and discuss this thing called darkism. And then I started to write plays and books and, just theater performances specifically about dark skin. And again, this was all before people online, anyone online, started talking about colorism. This was even before Dark Girls. Shout out to Bill Dukes, but this was actually before Dark Girls. Um, I was doing dark skin activism, branched off into doing darkism counseling, colorism counseling, which I still do today. Um, and just to get to my play, A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge is a play that I wrote back in 2006, again, before anybody was talking about colorism or dark skin as a systematic topic of discussion. So, A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge is a play that I wrote. And I'm actually going to be doing a performance reading, should I say, of A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge at the Atlanta Black Theater Festival. So the play has been accepted to the Atlanta Black Theater Festival, and the Atlanta Black Theater Festival is going to take place the weekend of Labor Day. So Labor Day weekend, and it's going to be August 31st through September 2nd. I do not have the specific date and time of when and where I'm going to be performing, but just know I'm going to be on the Atlanta Black Theater Festival, and it's going to be at the TUBMAN Theater in Macon, Georgia. Okay, so stay tuned to my channel and I will be giving you guys updates. Also, go to my website, darkskinactivist.com, darkskinactivist.com. And if you sign up to get a free ebook copy of my book, Darkism, then you will go on the list to be notified about various events and things that have taken place, especially the play that I will be premiering on the Dark Skin Activist Tour, which is going to be at the Atlanta Black Theater Festival. So yes, I have the Dark Skin Activist Tour, and what I do with the Dark Skin Activist Tour, sometimes I will produce my own shows, and sometimes I will um, go on other people's events. So the Atlanta Black Theater Festival is one. Also, I have been asked to do a performance reading at the Tampa Bay area hair braiding battle that's going to take place on April 22nd. So yes, that's what I'm up to. That's what I'm doing. If you want to sponsor, uh, you can cash out. My cash app is $ rashidalala. Once again, that's $ rashidalala. And all this information is in the description to this live. And it's in the description of any other video or live that I have on YouTube, as far as my cash app, my PayPal, and my GoFundMe. So yes, that's a little bit of the history of dark skin activism. So this was on my heart and on my soul. I talked about people stealing from me and taking from my life story, and which they have. And one of the things that has definitely been something that I've always talked about and discussed, whether it be in an interview or through my plays, my creative works, is my light-skinned best friend. My light-skinned best friend. And it's a history in Black America. And I don't know why this is. I've been trying to figure this out and just thinking about it. But there's a history in Black of America of light-skinned and dark-skinned Black women being friends. And even so much, you guys could see my thumbnail. And these two are best friends on the show A Different World. Some other examples of best friends we could name is Tisha Campbell and Tashina Arnold. And I think they were actually like best friends in real life, right? In my own personal life, for some reason, I don't know why, for some reason, I've always seemed to attract light-skinned females as best friends in my own personal life. And that's why, people sitting up here on the internet listening to my stories, listening to my creative works, my plays, my audiobooks, and they are basically like copying my life. And I don't like that, because I come on here and I tell my truth. I come on here and I tell what is real, what I really went through and what I really experienced. And I just don't, you don't appreciate when people come behind you and they're not original and they're saying things just because they want to so-called get a piece of the action, so-called get a piece of live vicariously through you. But like I was saying, for some reason, I've always attracted light-skinned best friends, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I remember back in middle school was, I had two dark-skinned best friends. And one of the dark-skinned best friends, she actually betrayed me. I'll never forget it. I will never forget it. It hurt me so bad. This was in what, like the 6th grade? We were in the same classroom together. And we sat by each other and we became friends. And she seemed like a nice person. But the following year, when we came back, I believe it was 7th grade, she changed. She changed on me. And it was like, I'm like this. If someone changes on me and they're not the same and they start acting funny with me, I'm the type, I'm not going to try to figure out well, what's the problem. I'm not going to do that. I maybe that's the bad thing. Maybe that's the bad thing, y'all. But I'm not going to try to sit there and be trying to figure out what this person's problem is, because I know that I was real from the start with you. If I'm friends with you and I like you, I'm real with mine from the start. So I'm not going to try to figure it out. So that I didn't, even in 7th grade, I didn't try. When this person stopped talking to me and I saw that she was acting different, I just went on about my life and kept it moving. But I do remember her changing. I do remember like it was a hurting feeling because that's when I started to learn that people are fake and they're not real, and you can't, you can't really you can't go around trusting everybody because people will hurt you and disappoint you. And I live by that to this day. I don't get too attached to people like that. I just don't. I never really have. And like I said, this so-called dark-skinned best friend I had, and the funny part about it is she wanted to be my best friend. And I'm not saying that people just run to me to want to be friends. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I was a quiet person. I was an introvert. I wasn't like this talkative person. I was there to come to school and do my work and make good grades. Plus, I had a host of problems going on at home. Those of you that have followed my story for real, you know I grew up in poverty. You know I battled homelessness. It's just a bunch of poverty. It was a bad childhood. So I was like so bogged down with those problems that I was like, okay, you want to be my best friend? Fine. You seem like a nice person? Fine. And I just rolled with it. So, but when this person pulled back, when we got to the 7th grade, I didn't question it. I just moved on because I'm like that. I can detach from people quite easily. And I think I've obviously learned that in my childhood. And then from there, I had another best friend, another dark-skinned best friend. And I think, I can't remember if she came along in the 7th grade or the 8th grade, but it was after the first best friend. And so same thing. This person wanted to be my best friend, and she was actually very helpful. I will give credit to her for that. It was a lot of, she was a better best friend. The second dark-skinned best friend was a better best friend than the first dark-skinned best friend. Okay. She was. I'll give her that credit. But she came along with, I'm not saying people's names. I'm not. So if y'all ever listen to this, if any one of these people that I'm talking about listens to this, I haven't said y'all names. I'm not disclosing names. Out of respect, I'm not going to disclose your name. But the second best friend was a better best friend because she actually was helpful to me. She did a lot of things. When I was homeless and they had no place to live, she let me live with her. When her mom kicked me out because her mama didn't want to take care of no homeless teenager. And now that I'm older, I get it. I understand. I mean, who wants to? Let's keep it real. A lot of people don't want to take care of kids. They can sit there and pretend all day that they do, but a lot of people don't. And this lady, I wasn't her child. I'm here. Here I am, this wayward teenager. Now I get it. I understand. Back then, it was a little bit hard to understand, obviously, because you're a teenager, your brain ain't fully developed, and you just know you're going through a situation. But to this second dark-skinned best friend's credit, she did allow me to stay in her house. And but it was for a short time. And then after her mom kicked me out, she would let me sleep in. She would sneak me in. Like I slept in the laundry room. And her mom came in the laundry room one morning and caught me in there, and she was like, you gotta leave. And it was just like, that was one of the most painful periods of my life, but I'm a survivor and I survived all of that, and I'm so grateful. And this dark-skinned best friend, even though she had her bad points, she did try to help me. She did. I will give her all the credit in the world. She did. She used to also, she knew how to do hair real good, so she did my hair. And her dark-skinned sister came down, and I will never forget. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't condone violence, but this was a grown woman that stopped me at a job that I was working at, and me and her got into a fight. And I was 16 at the time, and I believe her sister had just came down from another state, and this was a fully grown one. I think she's like 35. But with all due respect, and I don't condone violence, but if that bitch ever came in my face again, I ain't gonna even talk. I ain't gonna even say nothing because I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, I believe in self-defense, because what I don't like is grown ass bitches, grown ass trifling, low down bitches. And yes, I'm talking about her. And if you're hearing this and you don't fucking like it, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna tell my story because I'm not 16 no more, bitch. I'm not fucking 16 no more, you black bitch. You crusty. Yes, it's taking a turn, y'all. Y'all always get the raw Rashida now. This is not motherfucking scripted. But bitch, I'm gonna leave it at this and say this. Bitch, I'm not motherfucking 16 no more, ho. Understand me motherfucking clearly, bitch. And I never forgot what the fuck you did, you black bitch. I'm not 16 no more. We're going to leave it at there. Moving it right along. Because I'm not going to get myself upset over these fuck ass. And this is why I have, y'all, just to be honest, I do have a problem with some of our black women because of the shit that I done went through in my life with them starting shit with me and doing nasty shit with me to the point where these bitches better not come around me because I'm a totally fucking different person than what I was when I was 16. I'm not the same. And you see me, bitch better keep going. Don't even motherfucking speak to me. Bitch better keep going. That's all I got to say about that. Let me move on. I'm trying not to get myself upset. But back to this dark-skinned best friend. Hey, Guy in Hollywood and Cutie Pie. Cutie Patootie. She was a good dark-skinned best friend, a better one than the first dark-skinned friend she was. She did try to help me, and she was a nice person. And I did ended up repaying the favor because God is good. God is good, After, I'm gonna be jumping around here a little bit. I'm not trying to, but when my second dark-skinned best friend, when her mom kicked her out, by that time I had gotten myself together. I was in college and I had a nice apartment, and I ended up letting her move in with me. Yeah. And I let her stay with me for a while. I think it was like about a month or so. But I did tell her, because I had worked so hard to get my life back on track and to get my life together. And I was so young. I was only like, 17, 18. And I did all this stuff with no help. My family didn't help me. I did it with God, put people in my life to say, hey, I'm a put you here to help this person because I see that this person is sincere. So it took me a couple of years, but I got myself together. And after my second best friend, after that period where my second best friend, her mom had kicked me out, I struggled a lot with a place to live. I didn't have nowhere to go. And I was homeless. And I was a homeless teenager. And I went through this very rough period. And that's when this second dark-skinned best friend was the last dark-skinned best friend I ever had. She was the last one. The last one. And then stepped in my light-skinned best friend. To this day, me and her are still very, 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 very good friends. Almost like sisters. And I'll do anything in the world for her. Shout out to Shamina. We was just talking Saturday. And that's when Shamina stepped in. And I met Shamina and her light-skinned mom, who I also consider my best friend because she treated me with such kindness and respect and love. And it was no agenda. When you're a teenager, some people just want to use you and they want to get you to do bad stuff, and they're not good people. May she rest in peace. Vita was never like that. She's very light-skinned, beautiful person. And Shamina and her mother Vita, two light-skinned people, those were my saviors. They were. I just got to keep it real. And my two dark-skinned best friends, I haven't spoken to them in like years. They were the last two. I haven't spoken to them in years. I'm pretty sure some of these people on the sneak, they be following me on social media. I'm pretty sure. I mean, hell, we live in the social media age. But Shamina has been my longest running friend, best friend, and light-skinned best friend. And I'm so grateful for her. And when I was in elementary school, I had a light-skinned best friend that was so sweet and kind. And I was so quiet. I don't know. Maybe that's why people would be like drawn to talk to me. I don't know what it was. But Nikki Pooh, she was real light-skinned with green eyes and so sweet. And she was just so nice to me. And she said, "You're going to be my best friend." And me and her used to catch the bus together, going to elementary school. She was one of my light-skinned best friends when I was in elementary school. And then years later in high school, me and her ended up meeting back up, and we kind of picked up where we left off. And then she was just like the same person in high school. I love Nikki Pooh. If you ever listening to any of my social media, just know, girl, I got a lot of love for you, because she was very, very nice and kind. She never called me black and ugly. She never treated me bad. And one thing I could say about Nikki Pooh, she was the same Nikki Pooh that I knew in elementary school as when we reconnected in high school. And me and her unfortunately lost touch because when I was in high school, the homelessness and the instability started. So I was going to Dixie Hollins High School, and I think it was around my 10th grade year, I dropped out and I didn't see Nikki Pooh anymore. I didn't see her anymore. And she used to have this dark-skinned boyfriend that she was like madly in love with. I wonder if they got married. I wonder if they got married and had any kids. But the one thing I will say about Nikki Pooh was a wonderful human being. Okay. She just was. She was real light skinned. She had green eyes, and she had like a wonderful personality. And her and I were kind of opposites because I was always introverted and quiet, and she was a little bit more, extroverted. And her and I got along really, really, really well. But Shamina was the person, and Shamina and I are like opposites as well. Like, again, I don't know why I was attracting extroverted, light skinned people as best friends. I try to understand, like, how did this happen or why, but sometimes you can't even understand the how or why. It's just the way that, God wants it to be. And so, I have a lot of people that come on and they lie on me. And I'm not sitting up here saying that, oh, well, this is one of the reasons why, or this is one of the proofs that I don't hate light skinned people, because I had light skinned best friends. That is not even why I'm saying this. But what I am going to say is people do lie on me all the time on social media, and they accuse me of having hatred towards light skinned people and light skinned women. And I think that that's a cop out, because the people that are accusing me of having a hatred and a disdain towards light skinned women, um, those people just don't want to deal with darkism. Those people don't want to deal with darkism. They don't want to deal with colorism. They don't want to deal with the truth of darkism and colorism. And so instead of them looking at themselves, instead of them saying, well, okay, where have I been? Where have I practiced darkism? Or where have I practiced colorism? Have I been mean to a dark skinned woman or called her derogatory names because of her skin tone versus praising a light skinned woman? you know they don't want to address that. They don't want to address that. They don't want to address that. They would rather bash me and lie on me and scandalize my name when I know the real truth, when they know the real truth. you know they rather bash me. They rather make up lies on me. And if it's the one thing that I don't like is when people lie on me. I don't like when people make up shit on me. If you're going to talk shit about me, at least let it be the truth. Okay, me coming on here talking about darkism and talking about darkism as it relates to black men, and the fact that black men do choose light-skinned women a lot of times over dark-skinned women, because of black men, a lot of y'all do think that light-skinned women look better than dark-skinned black women. Instead of y'all dealing with that, it's easier to bash and lie on me. But one thing about it, y'all, I never allowed the darkism to affect or stop the friendships that I had with my light-skinned best friend. I never allowed black men picking up the light-skinned best friend over the dark-skinned best friend to affect my relationships. And I'm never going to do that, because me and Shamina have been friends for years, since we was like 15 years old. And I have seen black men choose, plenty of times, they chose Shamina over me. They chose Shamina over me. Okay. And I know that they was only choosing her over me because she's light skinned and I'm dark skinned. But she will tell you, I ain't never got in no argument with her or got mad at her because a dumbass black man chose her for being light skinned over me. I never took it out on her. I never got angry at her. So that's why I'm saying to these people, y'all coming on here making up lies. You're not being honest. And I've always addressed the darkism issue with the black men. I don't deal with the females like that. The only time you're gonna hear me address the light-skinned females is if they're coming at me with some foolishness. Now, if you're coming at me and you're mad at me about what I'm saying about darkism and you're a light-skinned female and you're attacking me, then I will address you. But throughout this whole movement, I never attacked no light-skinned woman. I never came at no light-skinned woman because of a black man's darkism decision. I never did that. I've always addressed the decision maker, y'all. And that's what you have to do. You have to deal with the decision. The black man is the decider. That is another thing. That's a subtopic to this in terms of relationships and dating. But y'all need to understand that the black man, they are the decision maker. You know, like in a company, when you call in, anybody have ever done telemarketing, you call in, you need to reach the decision maker to ask for whatever you want, whatever you need. I've always addressed the decision maker because men are the ones that say, will you marry me? They are the ones that traditionally do the proposing. It's not the women that go out and say, well, will you marry me? No, the man decides on who he likes, who he wants to be with. Women do not decide that. Men decide that. We just say yay or nay. You know, we just say yes or no. So that's the reason why you always hear me talking to the man, because the man ultimately decides. But I've never went and looked at Shamina and been like, oh, bitch, why he choose you to make up an argument with her and start fighting? Well, I ain't never did that. Ask her. If she was on here, she'll tell you that. It's been times where she done drugged my black ass to the club. I told y'all I'm an introvert and I don't like going to parties and all that. But Shamina has gotten me to go to the club a time or two. And, you know, I've blatantly saw black men, they would choose Shamina over me. There was other light-skinned females that used to be around me where I constantly saw the black man choosing the light-skinned woman over me. They did this, but I never took out my madness or anger. And at the time, I wasn't even mad or angry because I was quiet and introverted. I would just observe. I'm just sharing with you my memories. I wasn't even angry or mad with the dude. It was just an observation that I made. Oh, okay, this is what you want over me. And then I kept it fucking moving. But I never started no fight or no argument with my light-skinned best friend because a black man chose her over me and she's light-skinned. That didn't make any sense to me. That's never made any sense to me. Attacking a person for being a skin tone doesn't make sense to me. That's not what I've done. And people have misconstrued dark skin activism to be something that they want it to be, because you're looking at it through your eyes. You're not looking at it through the eyes of what is factual. You know, I've gotten a lot of people over the years that have said to me, well, Rashida Strober, these chicks here attack this light-skinned chick because she light-skinned and all the dudes like her. Well, I'm like, well, what that's got to do with me? I've never done that. I've never gotten into a fight with a light-skinned woman because some black man wanted to be with her as opposed to me. I've never gotten into a physical fight with any light-skinned woman because a black man chose her over me ever in my fucking life. So I cannot relate to that. And all I can say to them is I'm not going to sit here and say that it didn't happen in terms of a dark-skinned woman. If someone attacked you and you had this experience, who am I to discount your experience? But you can't put that off on me and act like it was me that did it. I didn't do it. Let's deal with facts. You can't generalize off on me. I don't condone a dark-skinned woman fighting or attacking a light-skinned woman because a black man chose her. I don't condone that. When have y'all ever heard me come on here and say that I condone that type of violence? You haven't. If you're saying that, you're lying. But people bring this to me as if I I'm the one that did it. They want to take everything out of me. I'm like, what? I don't even know you. I don't know this person that was attacked. I'm sorry if that was the case, that the person actually was attacked, but I don't know the person. I wasn't there. I had nothing to do with it. And I don't condone violence. And I don't condone violence. Repeat, and I don't condone violence. But people just love to have somebody to take out their madness on. They want to have somebody to take out their anger on. You know, they want to, if they see me talking about darkism and doing it unapologetically, I'm not doing it the way y'all want me to do it. Y'all want to try to use me as a punching bag for all the problems that you done had with darkism. And I'm not going to allow that. I'm not going to let people come at me like that, because I know that I've never engaged in that type of foolery. You know, I've never done that. The most I've done was sat back and watched the interactions between a black man, light-skinned black woman, and myself. You know, there was one time where I did speak out, and this was on a job, but this was, you know, a different situation. This woman wasn't my friend, and she was being a bit disrespectful to me, and I didn't like it, and I called her out, and I called out the black man. But to me, that's a different situation of me verbally defending myself. It wasn't nobody fighting. I was, I was verbally defending myself. But people just want to act like it's, you know, it's my fault that they've been attacked by some dark-skinned black woman. And some of y'all, I think some of y'all be going extra, making up lies on dark-skinned women. Every dark-skinned woman does not want to or have a desire to attack a light-skinned woman physically or verbally because she's light-skinned. Where do we get this from? That's another stereotype that is being placed on dark-skinned women. And I know that because me as a dark-skinned woman, the dark-skinned activist, attacks darkism head on, y'all attack me. Y'all stereotype that to mean I want to fight. Y'all automatically place these negative stereotypes on me as a dark-skinned black woman. You're automatically doing it. Even though I ain't done nothing, even though I ain't hit nobody, I just verbalized that darkism is wrong. I verbalized that black men need to stop always choosing light-skinned women over dark-skinned. You automatically deem that to mean that I'm also violent too. What kind of, that's not even logic. That's not logical at all. It doesn't even make any sense to make that great of a leap. But I'm appreciative of all my best friends that I had, except the first dark skin. I will admit I don't like her at all because she was fake. She was fake as hell. But I am appreciative of the dark skinned friend I did have, and I'm appreciative of all my light skinned best friends that I did have because they were good to me. And you know, I didn't have no issue with them. Like I said, it was never no fights. It was never no competition. That's another thing. We never had any, we were not competing with each other, trying to see, well, who could pull the most men. We didn't do all of that. We didn't call each other names. My light-skinned best friends, they never did attack me because I was dark-skinned. They never did any of that. So I can't, you know, I can't sit here and say that I had a bad experience with having light-skinned best friends. I can't sit here and say that. I have to say that my experience has overall been positive. Now I will tell the truth. Now I had one bad experience with one. I ain't gonna even say which one, but with one of my light-skinned best friends. I told her with one of them, I told Usher, y'all know I came of age in the 90s, teenager in the 90s, and that's when Usher came out. And back then we used to have tapes. We used to buy the tapes. It was a music store in the mall. I used to go and get my tapes. I was a big fan of Usher, and I used to listen to that one song, The Many Ways, all the time. He even have a video for that. Yeah, he did have a light-skinned leading lady in that video, The Many Ways, but he was so fine in that goddamn video, y'all. And I remember I went to the mall and I went and bought that damn tape. I bought the whole tape with all the songs on it. And I used to play Usher over and over. And I kept telling my one light-skinned best friend, because she kept bothering my tape. I said, leave my tape alone. I kept telling her, asking her nicely, stop bothering my tape. Because I go look for my tape and I couldn't find it. And she had it. And I did not want her to fuck with my Usher tape. Okay. And we did end up getting into a physical altercation over Usher. Over that damn Usher tape. Yes. We did because I mean I did not want. I'm the type of person I don't like people to bother my things in general. Like if I put stuff, I like to try to keep my stuff orderly and neat. And if I put it in a certain position in a certain spot, I don't want you to come and touch it. I want you to leave it alone. And she did not do that. And after probably about 6 or 7 times of telling her, "Hey, leave my Usher tape alone," the last time it was on and popping. I was just like, yeah, and I ain't gonna tell no lie. That I did pop off, but she provoked me because she kept on fucking with my Usher tape. But that's like the only time I had a that's the only time I had an altercation. I had an altercation with my light skinned best friend, with one of my light skinned best friends, of whom I'm not gonna name. But overall, I've had a pleasant experience. It's been a sisterhood, and it's been pleasant, and I thank God, and I'm grateful that God brought these people in my life, and I was able to experience that level of friendship. And I didn't let darkism and colorism come between us, because a lot of times I did also notice that some of the black males growing up, when they would see me and my friends together, they would try to pit us against each other by calling the dark skinned one ugly, and wondering why you hang around her, and letting the light skinned one know that she was pretty, she was beautiful, she was the shit, while letting me know that you're not shit, you're ugly, you're fucked up looking. And you know, but I never allowed these black males to pit me against my light skinned best friends. I never allowed that. I never allowed that, and I'm glad that I didn't allow that. And that's you shouldn't do it, because you're gonna face that. You're gonna face uh, light skinned best friend, light skinned, dark skinned best friend relationships. Sometimes you may face that. I've seen it when I was in teaching in the school system, where little boys would come up to the light skinned black girl and the dark skinned black girl that they saw was friends hanging together, and they would just start going in talking about how they would choose to marry the light skinned one over the dark skinned one. I've seen this with my own eyes. People, hold on one moment, y'all. Give me a moment. Okay, but yeah, y'all, I'm back. I'm back. But yeah, I just want to encourage, if you have a dark skin, light skin relationship, friendship, best friend relationship, just, and I'm pretty sure because I've experienced this with people trying to divide and conquer and make one feel like they're better than the other. Just don't allow people to come in and control you, control how you feel. Hold on, y'all. Don't allow people to come in and control the trajectory of your friendship. Don't allow darkism, because that's what it is. And a lot of times I notice too that people would see me and my light skinned best friends getting along and being nice to each other and not tearing each other down, and they didn't want to see that. There was this one particular individual that I believe was like truly jealous of my friendship with this particular light skinned person, and they would actually make negative comments about to basically let me know that the light skinned person looks better than me. I'm ugly, and that basically I want to be like the person, I want to look like the person, and I'm an ugly dark skinned chick. And they would say little negative stuff in front of me and this person, seeing that we was getting along. There was never no arguments, never no conflict, and they tried to come in and create the conflict. So that's why everything I tell y'all, listen, I tell you based on my real experience, not what somebody done fucking told me. I'm telling you what I've actually been through. And so that's why I said, even with this person doing that shit, trying to come between us and trying to pit us against each other by telling her that she looks better than me or giving her compliments, they was never able to stop the friendship that we had. They were never able to stop it. Okay. And I can't say necessarily I completely understood what they were doing when I was a child, when I was under the age of 18, because people do shit to you when you're under the age of 18, when you're dark skinned. They do little nasty little shit to you. They say mean shit to you, but you don't really process it. You don't really. I don't forget nothing. I remember every fucking thing that's why I did. But I may not be able to intellectually and necessarily emotionally process it at that time. But I processed it because I thought about this over the years. And I said, this person was straight fucking jealous. And they seen that me and this person was getting along with each other. She light skinned, I'm dark skinned, and you just jealous because you don't fucking want us to get along as a light skin and a dark skin. You want us to be fighting and arguing with each other and competing with each other. That's what the fuck this person wanted to see. So that's why the insecure ass person was making all these goddamn negative comments, but I never let it get in the way. I never, and to the light skinned person's credit, she never let it get in the way of our friendship. So I just want to encourage y'all to be aware of these types of people. They are out there. They are very jealous. They are very jealous, a lot of them. They don't want to see you get along with another light-skinned person. They want you to feel inferior because some of these people they grew up back in the day when everybody was telling them they was the shit because they light skin, and they still want to feel like they have that type of power, and they're not willing to let go of their superiority complex. And so what they want to do is inflict and project their bullshit onto you. So beware of these people. But yeah, y'all, I would like to just say I want to thank y'all for taking the time to listen to what I have to say. I want to remind you guys that I will be performing my play, a performance reading, should I say, a performance reading of my play, A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge, at the Atlanta Black Theater Festival. And the Atlanta Black Theater Festival is going to take place on Labor Day weekend, and that's August 31st through September 2nd. And I will be at the Tubman Museum in Macon, Georgia. All this information should be in the description to my live. And now I don't have the exact date and time yet because I'm waiting on the festival to give me that information. But as soon as I get it, I'm going to come and let you guys know. But I would encourage you to stay tuned to the channel, subscribe, like, because you're going to be the first to get the updates. And also, I'll encourage you to go to my website, darkskinactivist.com. Once again, that's darkskinactivist.com, and sign up for the ebook, because that will place you on the email list, so that when I get the exact date and time of where I'm going to be performing at the Atlanta Black Theater Festival, you're going to be the first to know. So go to my website, darkskinactivist.com, and sign up. Thank you, Jackson Mao. You said, I love your channel. Oh, that's so sweet of you. I appreciate that. I really do. I really do appreciate people that that support me and that care about me and love me. I really, really, really do. More than you guys, more than you guys can ever imagine. I do. And what else I wanted to tell you guys? If you want to sponsor me, please do so. You can sponsor me in 3 ways. You can go to my Cash App, you can go to my PayPal, or you can go to my GoFundMe. And all that information is in the description on my live, and it's also on my website. But just to give it to you right now, the Cash App is $RashidaLala. Once again, $RashidaLala. Once again, $RashidaLala. My PayPal is icecreamladydream@yahoo.com. icecreamladydream@yahoo.com. Once again, that is icecreamladydream@yahoo.com. And I just put my GoFundMe in the link in the live chat. But if you want to find the GoFundMe, all you need to do is Google Rashida Strober GoFundMe. That's it. Google Rashida Strober GoFundMe, and it's going to pop up and populate. So yes, yeah. But that's about it. I want to thank y'all for watching. Make sure y'all like this video. Make sure y'all subscribe and save that date, and keep y'all ears open for the date and time of A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge, the performance reading at the Atlanta Black Theater Festival. And I will talk to y'all again soon. Y'all have a wonderful day.